Creating Pinterest pins week in and week out to promote your blog posts can be a long and kind of tedious task, but I've been doing Pinterest for a long time now, and I have come up with a system to bulk create Pinterest pins to make them easier and faster so that you can get done with Pinterest within a couple hours for your entire week. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you my process for what I go through with every single one of my Pinterest clients, myself included, so that you can see the easiest way to do this. And the first thing that I want to show you is my Pinterest keyword tracker. This is what I give to all of my clients that I do Pinterest management with, and this is also what I use for myself. So I basically just have the board names and the board descriptions. And then you can also put keywords if you want to label out specific keywords to use in your board descriptions. I will always write all of those out, and then I will change out the board descriptions for more keyword researched ones. I have another section down here for pinned, and this is a new section that I've been using where it shows exactly what I have been pinning for every single week. So I kind of just use blank rows in order to determine what I'm going to be pinning every single day. And this is going to be very helpful because I know exactly what it is that I have pinned so that I don't accidentally repin them too close together. So like for the blog post, what I have here, all of his blog posts with all of the links written out. And I also have the captions, which I haven't been putting the captions here. I've been putting them over here. And I have the boards, which I have a few of them filled out, but at this point know where everything's going, so I didn't need to specifically tell myself. And then you can also put keywords. So if you want to fill this whole thing out, you can, but I have them separated by like decor crafts for beginners, holiday posts, and then I just have the general posts because there's not a whole lot of like specific categories for this type of blog. Otherwise I would have more. And what I've been doing now instead is coloring these boxes green whenever I use one of the Pinterest pins for the week because I've been putting them over here. And the reason that I do this is because you don't want to pin the same link too close together. And I want to be able to get through all of these blog posts. So you can see all of these have been pinned because I've been working with him for quite a few months at this point. So now I know I've already pinned this one. I don't need to repin it for a while. I can now do these and just make them green so that I can know which ones I've used. And then I have another section for products and other links. If you have any YouTube videos, products, affiliate links, whatever you want to put, there's a section for this. And if you want to get this keyword tracker for yourself, I have it for free. All you have to do is go to the link down below in the description and you can sign up. I'll send it to you in your email for free and you can fill this out for your own account. So next I'm going to show you how I figure out what content I need to be pinning for the week. I figure out basically how many pins do I need to get pinned a day, how many links do I need to pin because of that, and then how many designs do I need to create in order to make enough pins for the week. So my client is paying for 5 pins a day. And I know 5 times 7, 5 pins, 7 days, is 35, meaning I need to have 35 pins pinned for that week. And I like to do my pins in 2 separate batches. So I will have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday pins created first. And all of those days will have the same Pinterest pin links. And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday will be a second batch that has all the same links in that. And the reason that I do it this way is because you don't want to pin the same link over and over again day after day. So I separate them by one day and do links in 2 different batches. And then I have to pick out what links I want to choose. I will do 5 links for one batch. So this is what I pinned for one batch. And then I will do 5 for the second batch. On top of that, I will do 4 pin designs. So basically 4 pin designs for 4 days, which means that there's enough variety of Pinterest pin designs. And then for the 3 days, I will do 3 pins. So 4 pins and 5 links is 20, which will give me part of what I need. And then I will do 3 pins with 5 links, which will give me 15 and adds up to the 35 pins that I need. Now this is going to be different depending on how many pins that you want to do. If you only want to do 3 pins a day, you won't need to grab as many links or have as many designs as I do. But when I'm pinning 5 pins a day, this is the way that I math it out. That's really all you need to figure out is how many pins am I pinning a day? So what does that work out to for a week? And then how many links do I need in order to separate them? And how many designs do I need in order to make everything add up to what I want? Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, leave a comment down below and I'll try to explain it better, but you'll see kind of what I mean as we go through this. I also separate this out with these little white spaces here so that you can see I have all these 4 pins and then I have a space so that I know those are pins that I have pinned or done previously. And then I have 3 designs here with a space in between. And that's just so that I can see what are the other designs that I've done. And you can see I have done a lot of them because I've been working with this client for a decent amount of time. So I can basically go back and say, oh, you know what? I liked this pin, but I bet you I can do a different variation of it. So I will copy and paste that pin and then do a different variation of it if I wanted to. And I can see all of the designs that I have previously done. Now, if you're looking at this and you've gotten this far and you're like, this is super complicated and I am not interested in doing this myself, I am offering Pinterest management right now. So I will leave the link down below in the description if you'd like me to do all of this for you, because when you are brand new to doing this, or if you haven't been doing this for 3-4 years like I have, it's going to take you a lot longer probably. And so if you'd like me to do this for you and figure out all of the ins and outs of Pinterest and your account, I'll leave a link down below in the description to Pinterest management. So you don't have to do it. But this week we are going to be starting fresh. I've already created this design, which is a slight variation of this design here, and I can show you how I create all of my pins. I'm going to start out with only doing 3 designs just because the process of doing this is so tedious. You don't need to see me do every single Pinterest pin for the week. But first thing I'm going to do is go into my recently used, or just go into any of the Pinterest pins that I see on the side here, and I see where do I want to start? Because coming up with your own Pinterest pins is going to take up a lot of time, and you don't really need to do that because Canva has a lot of free and paid options for Pinterest pins. You might as well utilize them, but make sure you make them your own ever so slightly. Picked out my 3 designs, and this one's pretty much already how I want it, so I'm just going to edit these. Now, obviously, you want to always have your link on your Pinterest pins so that you know it is yours. So the first thing that I always do so that I don't forget is switch out the reallyGreatSite.com or the @reallyGreatSite that they tend to have. Sometimes they don't have it at all, so you have to add in your link. And then I always delete the background photos because a lot of times they don't have the grid, which makes it a little bit more difficult to add in a photo. So I always make sure to add in this because now I can click and drag a photo easier versus if you don't have this, you have to find the right spot for it to snap to the background, and it might not even do it. That's why I always put that in there, because then you can just click and drag. I'm not sure I'm vibing with the pink, because one of the things that you really want to have with your Pinterest pins is easy to read, bold text. I also don't like that this is all the way up here. I tend to like to have my links be as inconspicuous as possible because no one really needs to see it like that big. It's not that big of a deal, but it needs to be on there, you know? So that should be okay. I might end up updating this at some point to spice it up, even just the touch. Honestly, I might just take this because the simplest pins seem to be doing the best for this account. And it's all really going to depend on the account as a whole, who you're creating pins for. It all depends on the account, what type of Pinterest pin you do. And the simplest Pinterest pins seem to be working relatively well for this account. So I'm going to play into that and just do something super simple. And of course, these will be updated. If like the text doesn't fit, I will update it to make sure the text fits, making the boxes bigger if I need to, or whatever needs to get done. There you go. 3 designs that we can adjust as we move on. And now we're done. So the next thing that I'm going to do is go over here and choose my links. So I'm going to keep a little space here so that I know this is an extra week. And I'm going to go look for 5 different links. And this is where this section comes in. I know that I don't want to pin these again because they have the green on it. So I'm honestly just going to grab these. If you have any seasonal blog posts, it might be important for you to say, oh, okay, Christmas is coming up, so I want to pin those types of links. There were a couple Christmas ones, like this one's a Christmas one. So since we're getting into September here, I'm going to pin that one. But other than that, you can use your most popular blog posts or ones you haven't pinned in a while. Whatever links you grab, is try to be strategic with them. But sometimes, like with this account, it's just DIY. DIY is always popular. I don't need to worry too much. So now I'm going to take the title and we're going to copy and paste it onto the Pinterest pin. Now, again, since I am not used to this account, I mean, I'm used to it now at this point, but since I don't know the ins and outs of this account, I don't know what titles are going to work. I don't know what designs are going to work. There's also a lot of experimentation. So normally I would update the titles. I would make them say some different type of thing, but a lot of these blog posts here are straightforward. There's not much more pizzazz you can put into these blog post titles. You want to try to change up the titles every so often. So for example, how to reset your life. the next title could be how to get your life on track with these simple tips. Something like that. Different things are going to work for different accounts. So if you can spice up your title and change it up every so often, change it up, because that could be the difference between someone clicking on your pin and scrolling right by it. Also, normally what I would do is come over here and grab some design elements, look up some nice pictures. I would either use photos from Canva, or what I've been doing recently with my own account is using paid stock photos. For this account, it doesn't work because this is a DIY account. So I have to go to the website and actually grab the photos that they have specifically taken. But if you are in any other niche that doesn't require you to take your own photos, you can use stock photos. And I recommend buying a stock photo subscription site. I honestly put this off for a long time because I thought it wasn't going to be worth it. It was a waste of money. I didn't have the money to be able to put out to do it. But I finally decided to bite the bullet and buy a stock photo subscription. And it has made my pins do a lot better than they were doing, because Pinterest basically sees whatever photos you put on there. And whatever photos you put on your pins should be relevant to whatever it is that you are pinning. And if too many people use that photo, Pinterest will start to see that photo and almost get bored with it, or say, it's been used too many times. It's not fresh content anymore, which is what Pinterest is after. They're eventually going to get bored of using that photo, and your pins using that photo, even though you might never have used it before, are going to get pushed down on the feed. However, if you use a paid stock photo site, something like Ivory Mix like I have, there are new photos added every single month, so you can always find brand new photos to use. And even though, yes, there are other people that are likely going to be using them, the percentage of people using paid stock photos is significantly less than someone using a free photo on Canva. So it's not going to hurt your account as much, and it's actually going to help you do better, because the quality of the pictures is probably going to be better. The topic might be a little bit more on brand for you, like the topic of the photo or whatever's getting pictured, and less people are going to be using them. So I highly recommend, if you have the money, to buy something like Ivory Mix. I will leave my Ivory Mix link down below in the description if you want to check it out. But otherwise, you can use Canva Pro photos. You can use Canva free photos. Just know your pins are not going to be doing as well. However, this one, like I said, I have to use whatever photos I am given. It's a craft account, so I can't just, for the most part, grab whatever picture I want. And then I'll angle it a little bit differently. I don't know how I want this one to look. Maybe just like that should be fine. The next thing I'm going to do basically is just download all 3 designs and save them for all 3 of the days. And now we've done the prep work. We have the designs that we want to do. We have the links we want to do. We know all of what we're going to be working on. So now things are going to go a little bit faster because all of the prep work is done. So now it's just a matter of copying and pasting. So next one we are going to grab is this. We are going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste this on all 4 designs, and it doesn't matter, or all 3 designs at least, and it doesn't matter what it looks like because I'm going to go back through and update it. So like this one fit really well, so I don't need to worry about that. This one did not fit, so I'm going to adjust this so that it fits the design we are going with. And then this one pretty much fits. Paste that there. For this one, because of the fact that the design that I want to see is on the bottom, I might drag this to the top so we can actually see the design that we were meant to see, which is the pot. And then this one, I'm going to drag up a little bit as well. So that's what I mean by like every so often I will do a slight adjustment to make sure that the design matches whatever is going to best fit the Pinterest pin. And then I will save these and move on to the next one. I also try not to make sure to save the same design to the same day every single day. So for example, this design that I'm on right now was saved on Saturday. I don't want Saturday to have all of the same pin designs, so like all of this red design. So instead of saving this one on Saturday, I'm gonna save it on Thursday. Some of them are gonna have the same designs just because of the way things work out, but you don't want every Friday to have the same exact design, every Saturday to have the exact same design for that week at least. Now, of course, it's gonna change week to week, but like now they look a little bit different. Hopefully that makes sense. Now this one is a table, so it's a little bit difficult to get into what we're doing. And since I'm going to keep this up top, I'm actually going to drag this down so that we can see the full table. And another thing that I like to do sometimes is match the colors of the pin to whatever I am pinning. For example, this this red right here, if you click on add a new color and you click on the eyedropper, it says pick a color from the design. So I can actually pick this specific red if I want, and it changes up the color of the red. Now, sometimes since I already chose red, this doesn't make as much of a difference as if it was a totally different thing, but it almost brings the piece together as one pin because the color you chose matches whatever is going on the Pinterest pin. So like, for example, with this one, it is going to be a Christmas color, and I don't think this color really matches this. And since I've been using red already, I'm actually just going to use green, and then I'm going to use a red for that, so it gives it a more Christmas feel. If there was better Christmas colors in here, I would take this, but I think this is a little bit too muted of a red, so I'm going to make that red and green. And then maybe instead of this being orange, I can turn this into a nice red instead. We'll do like red there and green there. It doesn't really change much sometimes, but a little bit of red and green couldn't hurt when we are talking about Christmas. And then this is kind of already red, but I guess I can make it a little bit better of a red. And then maybe we want to turn this green and just give it a little bit of a Christmas feel. I do the same thing when I'm pinning anything for Halloween. I would give it like an orange and yellow look like this, or for this one was blue, so I gave it a blue look, different stuff like that. Just little tiny details to change the Pinterest pin and make everything really come together. Now, since I will definitely be cutting a lot out of this whole process, so you won't see everything, this took me about 40 minutes to do. It isn't going to take that long, and that was only 3 days. I do still have 2 more to do. I have only 1 in this one, so I do still have 4 more days to do, but 3 days only took about 45 minutes. Since I have 3 done, I'm gonna go through and show you how I would schedule them now. I'm gonna have 1 on this side and 1 on this side like this. First thing I'm gonna do is put all of my Pinterest pins in here. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna open this window up, go to Tuesday, and I'm just gonna click and drag all of my pins that I've done for Tuesday, and I'm going to publish all of these at a later date. So Tuesday at noon, and then we'll do Tuesday at 8:30. I pick random times, but also try to be strategic with them. I think about what would my audience be doing at certain times. So I'm probably not going to pin at 2 p.m. because 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, people are at work. But around 6 or 6:30 or maybe 8 or 9 o'clock, people are going to be on their phones. So when are people going to be on their phones on Pinterest? That is when you should try to pin. And then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more open slots, go from Tuesday to Thursday, and I will drag all the designs there. And then we'll also do that for the other batch for Saturday. And another reason why I pick random times too and don't put too much weight into what time I'm going to be pinning. The goal here is to get these pins ranked in search so that people can find them whenever they are on the platform. You want to be a little bit strategic so that your audience can pick up your pins and see them. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because most of our traffic is hopefully going to come from Pinterest search, and it's going to be ranking and it's going to be showing up whenever somebody is online, if it gets recommended to them, not necessarily when you first pin. Chances are your pin probably isn't going to do very well within the first 12 to 24 hours anyway, so it doesn't really matter when you pin, and you're going to get most of your traffic from search, and it might even take a couple months for your pin to even take off. So that's why I kind of don't put much stock into when my pin is pinned. Once all that is done and all of my pins are here, I'm going to go through and write out all of my titles. I also just went through and added all of the links as well so that I don't forget to add them. And now all I need to do is the pin description. Now for the pin description, what I do is I go to the blog post, since this isn't mine and I don't know a whole lot about what this blog post is, and I try and see what I would use for a description, making sure there is keywords in there and it's really going to just describe the Pinterest pin. It's a lot easier when it's your own blog because you know what everything is about, you know what keywords you're supposed to be using, but of course I'm doing this for a client and I've never read this blog post before, so I need to figure out what the heck it's about first, and then I can write my descriptions. But all I do is write a decently sized description. You can see the ones that I have over here, all different lengths. And then I'll put the description here so that I can copy and paste it whenever I need to. If I want to use that description again, or if I want to see what my old description was, or if I lose it or something, it's there so that I have a reference for what I've already said about this blog post. So now that I'm done with that, We'll save it there. And then I'm gonna go through and decide where do I want to publish them. And this is where boards can come through here. If you want to know exactly where you should be pinning things, you can already pre-decide that from there, or you can just look through your list manually and see where do you want to put it. It really depends what you feel like doing. I personally, for my own, like to have this so that I can just type in whatever I'm doing. I think the boards makes things faster. I'm just doing it a little bit different, testing out some things, seeing which one I like better. But so far, writing out the boards is what I have liked better, because then you know where you've already pinned to. You don't pin it to it again on accident, and it's just organized a lot easier. And that is pretty much the whole process. Next, what I will do is finish pinning all of these, and then I will go through and do this exact same process for the other days. So this has taken me a little bit less than an hour. The other one I expect to take about the same time. So 2 hours out of my day dedicated to Pinterest marketing, and then it is done for the entire week. Next Sunday, I will be doing the exact same thing. So hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. And if you went through this whole video and decided you don't want to take 2 hours out of your week or longer, because I have been doing this a while, so it does take me less time. If you decided you don't want to do this for yourself, I will leave a link down below in the description to my Pinterest management services. I am booking for all of my services right now, especially Pinterest management. So I will leave the link down below to that if you're interested in Pinterest management. Make sure to like if you like, and subscribe to my channel down below for more videos just like this. And I'll see you next time. Bye.